This is Corolla Digital.
Hello, my little pecan-crusted tilapia fillets. It's me, Alison. I have really painted myself into a corner with this whole "it's a new year, I'm now going to address you as various kinds of meat as opposed to carbs," which I used to do, because the truth is I'm running out of meat, and I don't enjoy trying to think of new meat-based products as much. I really feel like, could we already have run out of things? I mean, I don't think so, but like the tilapia, that was a reach. And I don't know, I find myself wanting to call you something else, like maybe paper clips. Maybe I'll switch to desk supplies, office supplies. I don't know. Weigh in, please. This meat thing, it's not working. It does not have the flexibility that carbs provide. Anyway, also, I wanted to say something else, something that has been just slightly weighing on me, which is last week, the Maria Menounos episode. I've heard from some people, just a couple, unless it's one person in a couple different places, who were very disappointed in me over what Maria and I were saying about Kim Kardashian. People who are like usually super into me and think that I'm not a shallow twat, were surprised to find out that we were sort of defending Kim Kardashian and saying that when people say that she's just like a lazy, talentless whatever, that's not really the case because, see, now I wish I could remember exactly what I said in that episode, but I imagine what I was saying is that it's actually a ton. I'm sure that that girl works from the moment she wakes up to the moment she goes to sleep, and that it's a lot of work and it's hard to do what they do. So I was trying to think of a way to communicate that. And I mean, one of the things I considered was just trying to put out there, like, look, if you, for the most part, respect me and think that I know what I'm talking about, then just trust that if I'm saying this, like, there's something about it you don't know. And then I thought, well, that's ridiculous to put it that way. And then I started thinking, why do I even care? Why do I even care what people think about this thing? I don't know. But I mean, I don't want people to think that I am awful. So that's part of it, for thinking that. But finally I realized, here's an analogy. Imagine I were to show you what you think is a photo of a big steaming pile of turds. And I was like, no, here's the thing though. This is not a photo. This was painted with vomit. But it just looks like an actual photo of crap. But it's not that at all. It's something entirely different. And do you know how hard it is to do that? Like the hours that go into making this thing that looks this way. And not only that, like a lot of people are trying to do it. But girls all over the country are trying to do this with their own vomit. And then you'd be like, yeah, but at the end of the day, it's a picture of poo made out of vomit and I don't care for it. And you'd have a point. So I guess what I'm trying to say is I am focused on all the stuff that goes into making this thing that you might just look at the product that they make and think, what's the big deal? Like they're just, observing their life. How hard is that? And I'm saying you don't understand that a lot of work goes into that, and a lot of people try to do that, and you have to have a certain skill in being able to do it convincingly. But the thing is that everyone who feels like she's just a talentless hack, I think what you're saying is, yeah, but I don't care for the product that's being created. And to that I'd say, yeah, I see what you're saying. And I guess the only thing I would say is that if we have to all look at someone, I don't mind that it's someone who kind of has a big ass and has dark hair, just because of my own, ass and hair. But other than that, I would agree that I don't think that she's really contributed, an incredible. She's no me. I'm just going to say that. Anyway, I feel like I could have said this in a more succinct way. And do we have some iTunes comments, Gary?
Alison wants your iTunes comments. Alison wants them, yes she does. Please leave her some iTunes comments and don't forget to click 5 stars.
All right, our first iTunes comment of the week speaks to what you were just talking about. It is by RK9102, and it is titled Maria Menounos, Part 1 Pre-Show. regarding your periods and ducklings. Were you saying ducklings should be coming out of your vagina, ducks having their period in your pants, or slaughtering ducklings that are coming out of your vagina?
The first one, for people who don't know, it's not like I really dream of having ducklings coming out of my vagina, but I'm not going to say I don't. But I was talking about a whole mishap involving my period, and then it felt like a transgression to even talk about it. And then I was saying that why is it that this is something that no one ever talks about? Is it because it's blood? And I bet if it wasn't blood, if it were ducklings, there wouldn't be such a problem. So yeah, it was specifically talking about ducklings collecting in my underpants. Next one.
Our second one is by It Sounds, and it is titled Alison the Rose. I gave ARIYNBF a listen and was not sure what I was getting myself into, but actually I am really enjoying the segments and conversations on the show.
Let me just stop right now for 1 second. Hold right there. If anyone's wondering what all the sighing and laughing is, it's Gary sighing and shaking his head and me laughing at this situation. Carry on.
I'm going to start that over.
Okay.
I gave ARIYNBF a listen and was not sure what I was getting myself into, but actually I'm really enjoying the segments and conversations on the show. She is smart, funny, energetic, and not bashful about any topic. I enjoy hearing where the interviews go. Also, there was talk with one guest that Alison should go to therapy, but I think if you go to therapy, you would be wasting good talking points for the show with your shrink. Please don't do it! Besides, I think it's cathartic to hear you talk about these little intimate issues in the way that you do on your show sometimes. Thanks, Alison and Gary. Later.
Well, I'll have you know, I have been going to therapy again, and it hasn't stopped me from saying way too much here and there. But thank you for being nice. Okay.
And our final iTunes comment of the week comes from Brody0, and is titled, Gonna Have to Say a Lot Worse. Alison, your show is great, and I enjoy it very much. To address the period talk from a guy's point of view, for the young men and unmarried men, it may have been a bit disturbing. However, I was not bothered one bit. I have 3 kids, and after experiencing the arrival of all 3 of those little bundles of joy, all 3 C-section deliveries, it takes a lot more than that to get me. Love the podcast. Keep it up. Also, one of the best features of the Adam Carolla podcast is you! That's in all caps, so I was just imagining that's the way he
I feel like that's how he intended it. Well, thank you so much. Like I said last time, I'm heartened that people haven't been that disgusted by my story. I will tell you that a little conversation Gary and I had after the big period talk admission was, I said, who am I going to turn off with that? And Gary said, almost faster, like he said it before I finished asking.
I stand
anyone
by
with
this.
a dick. Anyone with a dick.
I
Here,
stand by that.
Let's recreate it. Gary, who am I going to turn off with that?
Anyone with a dick.
It was even faster the first time.
At the time, I was suffering PTSD at the moment that
I
happened
know.
last time.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
You're handling it well.
Well, I'm glad to see that you've made sure to keep it up.
I can't let it go.
I'm aware.
I know. I'm that person who does something embarrassing that not everyone knows about till I tell them about it every single day, all the time. Anyway, I want to tell you guys about Go to My PC. The weather is crappy out there. One day it's 39 degrees, the next day it's 80 degrees, and I am not even exaggerating. That's what's going on in Los Angeles right now. It is nuts, and I'm actually a little bit depressed that it's getting warm again because I liked the New York-y weather out here, but that's not the point. The point is wherever you are in this great globe of ours, you might be dealing with some inclement weather that is preventing you from getting to the office, but you need something on your office computer. What are you going to do? Are you going to battle the elements? You could, but that is what you would do a million years ago or even a few years ago. Now, thanks to technology and thanks to Citrix, you can get to your computer without actually having to be in your computer, at your computer. So you can get to your computer from wherever you are, be it trapped in a snow bank, under a snow drift, in an avalanche, or just at a coffee place. Or you could be in line somewhere. Wherever you are, you need to get to your computer, and you can do it now with Go to My PC by Citrix. You can access your entire office computer from home, so you don't have to risk a dangerous commute or worry about falling short on a project. It's a secure... Go to My PC is a secure remote access tool that allows you to connect to your office computer from any other computer or mobile device. And you can access all of your work files, programs, and network from wherever you are, whenever you need to. You can also get your puppy photos if you happen to have those and you need to be showing someone, because that's the kind of thing that I would be like, God damn it, why did I leave that cute photo on that computer? Why do I not have a copy of that everywhere? Well, now I can get to it with Go to My PC. So be prepared, set up Go to My PC today. It takes just a few minutes and it's super easy to use. Try Go to My PC free today with a special 45-day free trial just for my listeners. That's you guys. Visit gotomypc.com, click on the Try It Free button, and enter the promo code Allison. Then download the free app to your iPad or iPhone. That's gotomypc.com, try it free, promo code Allison. I also want to tell you guys about Vistaprint. Vistaprint.com is a place to go to get all sorts of promotional or marketing material for your business or your brand or you, because you are your brand. And right now, what I want you guys to take a look at are their personalized calendars. I've said this before, I'm going to say it again. I'm a fan of calendars. I'm a fan of being able to just look at my wall, look at a cute puppy, or what have you, and know what day it is right then. Yes, I'm aware there's all sorts of calendar apps and whatnot, and they're good, but nothing replaces an actual calendar that exists in this universe and that you can touch with your fingertips. You can get a personalized calendar from Vistaprint. You can include personal photos, text, images, and captions. You can put on notes for special dates. You can start any month you want. It's fun, unique, and affordable, and it makes a great gift for customers, friends, and family. I've said before, my mom used to make calendars for my sister and me with pictures of Woofy and of Toby, but then she stopped doing it. God, she sucks. Anyway, they have wall calendars, desk calendars, poster calendars, wallet calendars, magnets, and cards. You can choose from hundreds of calendar templates. It's easy to design and order. All calendars, including wall, desk, poster, wallet, and folded, are 50% off. It's a special offer. You get free shipping on your entire order if you spend more than $30. I'm a big fan of free shipping, but you know what I'm not a fan of? Shipping that costs money. Did that make sense? Because it's a distinction. What I'm saying is, this is awesome. Free shipping. You need that. So go to www.vistaprint.com/bestfriend to get this incredible offer. Just go to www.vistaprint.com/bestfriend. Satisfaction guaranteed. If you're not happy, they will make it right. No risk. No risk at all. If you're not happy, they'll make it right. That's awesome. All right, you guys. This is my interview with Harris Wittels. He's funny and he's introspective and he really likes the band Phish. I feel like there's other stuff I need to tell you guys, but I'll just tell you some other time. Is there anything else I need to tell them, Gary? Do I need to just apologize as a blanket apology? I'm sorry, you guys. I don't know for what, but it just covers it all.
I don't feel fulfilled.
You don't?
Not by that apology.
Do you want a personal apology? Gary, I'm sorry I've traumatized you.
No, thank you. I appreciate it. That's not going to fix it.
What can I do?
Put me in touch with your therapist?
I could actually. For some targeted therapy, just to work on this one story you've heard. Yeah,
and hopefully get her to work on you not telling stories like this anymore. No, I don't think there's anything else that you really need to point out. The live from LA Podfest episode.
Oh yeah, don't forget, if you want a treat for your ears, which you do, you can get the special bonus episode of my show live from the LA Podcast Festival with guest Doug Benson and Greg Proops, and that's in the comedy album section of iTunes. It's $1.99. So cheap, but so much entertainment. And if you want to email the show, ARIYNBF@Allison. Ugh, that is not correct. ARIYNBF@AdamCarolla.com. And leave us an iTunes comment, won't you? Okay, here you go. Here is part one of my interview with Harris Wittels. I love you guys.
Alison Rosen is your new best friend. Alison, with her the good times never end. Alison Rosen, doing the wavy pencil dance again. Allison's your new best friend.
Hey Hey everyone, hi, hello, it's me, Alison Rosen, and welcome to another episode of Alison Rosen is Your New Best Friend. My guest today is Harris Wittels, author of Humblebrag and creator and curator of the Twitter feed Humblebrag, and a writer for like a zillion shows, and you've done some acting as well, yes?
Yeah, a handful. I love acting. I wish I could do that instead of writing sometimes, but I'm uncastable because I look like I'm 50 and 20.
But you're 50 and 20?
Yeah, at the same time.
How do you do that?
I don't know.
Is that the
I'm
feedback you
perfectly
get?
in between like a man and then like a college kid.
Huh.
What do you think?
So
How old do you think I look?
I think you look like you're in your late 20s.
Perfect.
But I know
think you
that
knew
you're...
that.
Well, okay, I'm actually...
If you just saw me, I wonder what you would have said.
I would have said early 30s.
Right, exactly.
But what are you? Oh, so you're 28.
28, yeah.
Oh, that's exactly what I thought you looked
That's
like.
what I try to exude with this,
Right.
casual hooded sweatshirt and my tennis shoes. But
Yeah.
I don't know. So
wait, you go out for roles for 50-year-olds and they write
I
you
literally
give you feedback
50
that you
50
seem
is-
too collegiate?
50 is an exaggeration. I'm not quite at the level just like the dude, like the 35-year-old guy who works at like a law firm or something on a sitcom.
Right.
Like,
Your
I'm not
youthful
there.
exuberance.
Yeah.
prevents
And then,
you.
also maybe I'm just not good. And that's why I don't get stuff. But
No,
who knows?
it's
But
not
that's what
that.
I'm choosing to believe. It's my physical appearance.
See, you know what I'm thinking, Harris? If you were to lose your hair,
Yeah,
you could get older roles.
I know.
Have you considered that?
I am trying.
Good luck with that. Well, yeah, I was going to segue into, wow, you're young and you've had so much success, but you're not that young.
No, I'm used to be a boy wonder, I think, and now I'm just a Jew writer in Hollywood.
What are some of the things? Tell us some of the things you've written for and
Okay,
are
well,
doing currently.
I moved out here when I was 22 to Los Angeles.
Out here from Texas,
From
right?
Texas. Well, I went to school in Boston, but I'm from Texas.
Emerson, where
Yeah.
I didn't realize everyone went, except everyone I meet went there. Hence, everyone went there.
Everyone did go there. A lot of people went there for a very short stint. It's not as like David Cross went there for like 5 months, but everyone's like, David Cross went to
Right.
Emerson. But if you asked a lot of those people, they would say that he didn't. And then Dennis Leary, we had Leno. That's about it.
See, those are more people than I know. I just mean people I personally know. A lot of
yeah,
them went
yeah.
there.
There's like this thing called the Emerson Mafia that's like, this sounds stupid, but
Yeah,
it is like
it
there's
does.
this underground society of people in LA that went to Emerson. And
Because it has a big, broadcasting, performing,
yeah, it's like a
media,
liberal arts school. They have a really
communications
good media arts
Right.
program.
thing. Okay,
um,
so Texas, the
Texas,
Mafia, then you came out here.
Out here, I was doing stand up, and then Sarah Silverman hired me on her show like
Mm-hmm.
right away when I was 22.
Did she scout you?
She saw me at Largo. We were doing the same show, and she didn't scout. She was just like happened to be there, and
Mm-hmm.
she saw me, and I had a good set. And then she wrote me an email like 4 months later and was like, "Hey, remember me?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I worship
I'm familiar
you."
with you.
And
And
she
said,
let me
what
submit
would
stuff
you? Okay.
to her Comedy Central show because basically I had no credits or experience, and so Comedy Central knew they could pay me nothing, and I would do it, and they were right. And
So it
they
was
just had
exploitative, not a great opportunity.
absolutely, but it was a great opportunity. I would have.
both.
It was like the best internship you could have. Like I learned so much that I was
Mm-hmm.
just thrown into that.
Did she know that? Did you know that you wanted to write?
Yeah, I went to school for that. So I did know I wanted to write. I just was planning on, I was like nannying at the time, and I was doing stand up, and I was planning on doing the writer's assistant thing and like working my way up, and then I got lucky and got to write on that show pretty early. And then once you land on a show, it's not that hard to get to other shows basically. Mm-hmm. So I've just been leapfrogging from I did that, and then went straight to Parks and Rec, and then did Eastbound and Down for a little bit. And now I'm back at Parks.
And then are you developing your own show as well?
Yeah. So right now I'm developing a pilot for Brian Baumgartner, who's on The Office, and I'm developing it with Greg Daniels, who adapted The American Office.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just writing it now, and we're trying to get it in before the holidays.
What's it about?
It's about a guy who works at the Atlanta airport, and he's just been He's like, this kind of schlubby, average white guy who used to be great at sports and had lots of friends and was just like used to winning, and then for some reason just society kind of casts aside just the average dude, but he still feels like he's the same guy, so he's trying to like win at life again, but it's hard because he's just a guy.
And did you create that story?
I created that with Greg and Brian. Yeah. And then I'm
just wondering, like, is there some piece of you in there?
Yeah, there's pieces of me in that, I feel underdoggy sometimes, but especially like when I responded to it, because I always felt that I was like good at sports and stuff, but I was always, I think I was good, but I'm small. I'm like, I'm 5'6" now, and I used to be much smaller, and all my friends would play football and stuff, and I even played football in middle school, and I think I was fast and good, but I was like Rudy, like I wouldn't get a chance to play. And then finally the last like play of the season, 8th grade, they finally put me in. People were like, put Harris in, we're fine, we're winning. And then the quarterback missed the snap and I never got to run it. And that's my tragedy.
Wow. Wow.
But the reality
you have
is, I
suffered
would have
for your
fucking
art.
died if one person tackled me, I would have crumbled. So I'm glad that
Right.
people doubted me.
Yeah. They saved you that way.
That's like the anti-Rudy story, though.
Yeah, I know, it sucks.
That's like the saddest thing I've ever heard. That's awful.
Yeah, it was horrible.
You want to know something? I have never seen Rudy, and more I am feeling like it's like someone who's, well, I was going to say it's like someone who's not familiar at all with the Bible, but no, it's
Hold on.
actually comes up more often than Rudy.
Is this about the newsroom?
No, but because I've seen the newsroom in contextually, I was going to say contextually in some really weird way.
Yeah.
Contextually, I have a sense of what happened, but like I had started to say before I took this weird detour, more and more I feel like not having seen it is going to prevent me from understanding a lot of conversations. Someone give me the Cliff Notes.
Yeah, that's
And the
true.
listeners.
I mean, I love finding out what movies people haven't seen, but I don't fault people for not having seen obvious movies. A lot of people are like, "What the
it's
fuck?
obvious.
You haven't seen 2001?" I haven't seen 2001.
Yeah.
I started it. I didn't
happened?
finish. It was long, and I had shit to do.
I'm
gonna see it one day. I haven't seen Casablanca. I haven't seen a lot of that
Just
shit.
go online and
I haven't
read
seen
what
Citizen
happens.
Kane.
Oh, though that one's good.
I know, but
yeah, I know. I saw it in a class. I wouldn't have seen it otherwise. You know what movie took me like 4 tries to get through? Star Wars.
Yeah, I can see that. It's not great now if you watch it for the first. I don't know when you watch it for the first time.
When I was a kid, but I couldn't get through it any of the times I tried to watch it as a kid, and then as an adult, but when one could still rent a video from Blockbuster, so
The
a long
glory
time
days.
ago.
Yeah.
I rented the Star Wars trilogy because I was like,
What kind of girl were you? Were you like into boy shit?
No, but I wasn't super into girly shit either.
You just
It was like,
march to the beat of your own drum.
yeah, it's like that Linda Ronstadt song.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. No, I wasn't.
Did you like Easy Bake Oven and stuff?
Yeah, I actually did like that. I didn't like dolls though, but I liked stuffed animals. So I was a dork, is what I was, but not into like sciencey texts. Although I was actually good at science, but I wasn't into nerd culture. Back when it was nerdy, because now it's cool.
Right. Are you into it now? Are you nerdy about stuff?
Pop culture maybe.
Okay.
But not but I'm not, like, I remember I was going to be on this comic book podcast. This is when I still lived in New York, and I had to read all these comic books to do this segment on like a person who doesn't read comics take on these comic books, so I was reading these comics on the subway, and I was noticing I was getting a lot of attention for it because it's like a girl reading comics, and I was thinking, if they only knew how much this is not who I am right now. What kind of girl were you?
I loved dolls.
Did you? Because
no, I liked action.
Dolls.
I was a boy-y kid. But my sister, I had an older sister, and so sometimes to hang out with her and her friends, because I would be bored just by myself sometimes, they would do girl shit and like make videos and like I had to be the Swayze in like a Dirty Dancing recreation that they did,
Right.
Or, shit like that. But,
Is your sister older?
yeah, she's 3 years older.
Do you guys get along?
We do get along very well, but she came here for Thanksgiving and then recently sent me like an email saying that like we aren't as close as it was like a very sad, like kind of, I felt blindsided by it. How personal do we get on this show?
Extremely.
Oh, okay.
As personal as you'll get. Tell me more about this email.
No, she just doesn't think that I like call and reach out to them or to her, and that she feels like we used to be actually like friends and now it's like we're just family that sees each other on holidays. Which I don't, it's hard when you're out here and you're busy, you kind of forget
Right.
to keep in touch with people.
Well, you're Hollywood now.
I'm Hollywood, baby.
So you haven't been feeling the same?
No, I
about
didn't know.
your
It
relationship?
came out of nowhere, to be honest. But when I thought about it, I was like, yeah, I guess I could be a better brother. And so I wrote her an email, and we're good.
Well, that's nice that you
Yeah.
didn't get defensive. I think my first reaction sometimes, depending on how it's worded, would be like, "No, there's nothing wrong with me,"
Oh,
and then
you
I'd
know.
be like, "Oh, you did."
Well, what I tend to do is like admit my fault and then say, but listen, I don't communicate with most of my best friends that live outside of Los Angeles. And she's like, okay, yes, I understand that, but I'm telling you what's wrong, and do you choose to try to change or not? I'm like, yeah, fine.
Right. So yeah. So now you're okay with it.
Now I'm fine. Yeah, we're good. But it was a big trip. She met my girlfriend my family met my girlfriend for the first time. It was a big like emotional, and her boyfriend came in and we did it with their family for the first time. Like it's always been just like in recent years just the four of us, my immediate family. And it was like this big family fun thing again for the first time. And so we all had a good time. But,
Now, does your family welcome new people in easily, or is there sadness?
No, they love it. My parents are more hard on my sister bringing a guy than they are with me and a girl. Because I feel like it's kind of old fashioned, but they're like, that guy is going to have to provide for my daughter at some point. And with me, it's like the girl just has to be nice and not be an asshole and be hot, I guess.
Yeah.
Not hot, but cute.
Your family wants you to be with someone who's hot.
I think my dad probably does want me to be with someone that's hot.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was good. And they actually like my sister's new boyfriend. They haven't liked a lot of her past ones.
What kind of guys has she dated?
Well, she was like in this phase where she was dating like dudes in bands and bartenders and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And like this was
It's a
the
good
first
phase.
time out of that.
What does he do?
He is like a website designer and stuff, and he's a very nice guy, and it's great. So hopefully something happens.
And what's the deal with your girlfriend?
My girlfriend is a musician, and she's great. And it's been like 6 months. This is like the longest, healthiest thing I've had. It's awesome.
Congrats. What kind of people did you date before?
A
A lot of them?
No, I
have to tell you.
okay.
I say this like it's going to be a bad thing. It's
Uh-oh.
not really. No, I heard you were a player from someone, and I'm going to have to go back and say, where did you hear that? But I feel like, because he listens to a lot of podcasts.
The
has
person that told you this?
Yeah. Has this come up on podcasts?
Yeah, it's come up on a few. I don't know where this reputation came. I'm
Okay,
very
so you're
open
aware of
about
it.
my sexuality and like what I've done with, and also I hook up with girls, but
That's probably where it comes from.
it's in a quest to find a relationship. It's
All
not.
players feel that way.
But
deep down.
I'm legit. That's true. I found a girl that
Yeah.
I've settled down with, and that usually is how it goes. I'll be with someone for like a year, and then between that and the next thing, I'll hook up with a fair amount of girls, and I'll talk about it on podcasts, and then people are like, "Oh, he's a player." But I think a player is someone with intentions of I just want to hook up.
Right.
I don't. I want to get married and have kids one day. I'm like into that. Mm-hmm. But also, I love fucking.
You love
No,
fucking.
I'm just kidding.
Do you say things like this, like,
me, oh my.
I really like all women?
No.
Because I've heard men say things like that before, like just talk in general about how like they just love women, and to me that always makes me go, ugh.
Yeah, I don't know what
There's
that.
something
yeah.
strangely objectifying about that statement, even though it's an attempt to show how like down with everyone they are.
Yeah, I don't know. That's gross to me too.
Yeah.
I like some women.
Yeah.
I hate some women.
What makes you hate them? What's something you hate?
What's something I hate?
Yeah.
I hate when you're with a girl and she goes, "I'm bored." It's like, you're fucking boring. That's not my problem.
Yeah.
Guys do that too. I don't like anyone that if you can't like entertain yourself or like, it's not my job to sing and dance for you. Mm-hmm. But so I hate that. What else do I hate?
Do you hate humblebrags?
Yeah, humblebrags I obviously hate.
Now, for the listener who's been living under a rock, not watching Rudy, but if there's another one besides me, explain what a humblebrag is.
Okay, so a humblebrag is it's like a brag that whoever's bragging, they try to do it in a self-deprecating way to not make it seem like they're just outright bragging. Mm-hmm. And I think it's pretty, you can see it very clearly, and a lot of people do it, and it's very annoying. I don't have a good example off the top of my head, but when someone says like, even being in
one out of a book.
Oh, we're on the tarmac for 2 hours. Even in first class, this sucks.
Yeah,
a lot of like that's one.
Let's see. Okay, I don't know who this person is. David Yelland.
Mm-hmm.
Saw someone leaf through my novel in Waterstones earlier and then asterisk, put it back on the shelf, asterisk. Hashtag, I'm still following them, call the police. So that's his book, obviously. Or
so that the brag there is like, hey, I'm an author and my book is in stores.
Yeah.
And then the humble part is, oh, but this guy, I saw him put it back. And I think my comment for that was, are you just hanging out? Are you just lurking in your section at a bookstore waiting to see if people buy your book, you weirdo?
Right. Okay, or Van Durham. I was told I saved someone's life today, but really I was just doing my job.
Yeah. I got a lot of shit on people on Twitter like, come on, he's a cop, come on. And I'm like, I don't care. That's a fucking humble brag.
I like the chapter Weird, Awkward, Surreal because the words weird, awkward, surreal often follow humble brags.
That's a very like shorthand way of getting a humble brag out there is like, okay, I'm just going to say my brag and then just say it. Oh, isn't that weird? That's like for the mom on the go or something. She can just throw that in.
Yeah, weird to hear myself right now on Sirius XM while driving down Sunset Boulevard. And then you wrote, what is it about Sunset Boulevard that makes this scenario particularly weird for you, friend? Yeah, the book is very funny, so I think everyone should go out and get it. I enjoy your commentary.
I got to update the site more. I kind of like, once that book got out there, it was like I gave birth to it, and then well, that's not a good analogy because you immediately care for your baby after that. This is like I gave birth to it and then threw the baby away.
Right. This is like a
I was like,
a prom toilet baby.
Yeah, when you're just like in it and then you just kind of check out after like.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I don't know if it's true or not. All good stories start that way. I don't know if it's true or not, but I've heard that after people on Broadway get really good reviews, they often like the show following a great review will often be a stand-in. Like they don't show up for work that day or something. I don't know why, but I'm just wondering.
Interesting.
If like
they don't want to jinx it or something.
Maybe.
Or like they don't want to have their go out on top, or they want to.
Yeah, I think maybe there's some extra pressure or something.
Yeah,
I don't know. But okay, so yeah, the thing that I dislike about humble brags is the disingenuity.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them
count.
Of it.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah. Is that like what gets you about it? Like I hate the idea that someone's like thinks they can out. In general, when I get the sense that someone's trying to outsmart someone, that dynamic bugs me.
Yes, that is very annoying. I guess what I hate the most about it is like, why are you telling us this? Mm-hmm. Are you trying to make people envy you or feel bad about themselves? Because that's pretty much the result.
Right.
And I recognize that like it's a lot of it is jealousy. Like when I started this account, it was probably jealousy on my part when I'd see someone be like, I'm starring in a TV show, whatever their thing was. I'm like, oh, I hate that. But even beyond that, I hate that you're telling me that and making it seem like it sucks for you. Like, it's just a whole ball of terribleness.
Right. But then I started thinking today, I'm like, but really, what is Twitter for?
I don't know. To tell people that you're at a store, at the grocery store, I think is its main goal.
Tell people what you had for lunch. I remember when Twitter first started, everyone who hated Twitter would be like, I don't care what you had for lunch. It's like, who is actually tweeting that?
I know.
That's what Instagram is for.
I know. And also, it's just I'm getting tired of reading. It's 140 characters. You can only do so much. It's all feeling the same to me. And also, as a comedy writer, I'm starting to feel like, oh, anyone can do this.
Yeah.
It's really shined a light on that comedy writing is like maybe easier than I thought. Because everyone's making jokes and everyone's...
Are they funny, though?
Within 10 minutes of like the debates, any joke that I could have written or that you would have seen on Letterman's monologue has been made 1,000 times on Twitter by just people. And it's like...
It's almost a
killed
race.
comedy. It's killed comedy, I think. Because, there's nothing left. There's nothing left to comment on with Twitter. There's 1 million people commenting at every second of the day. What's left?
What I don't particularly, or what something that makes me go, ugh, but then a lot of things do, is that what is considered funny on Twitter, like if you go to Favestar or those accounts where the certain tweets get a ton of attention, there's a certain type of Twitter comedy that I don't find that funny, and I will begin to dislike the people who are very popular in that Twitter kind of comedy, and then I think, why am I mad at this person I've never heard who lives in Canada?
Yes.
I'm not talking about Kelly Oxford, because she's here now. But why am I mad at this person? He's just trying to be funny, but it's like,
why are you mad? Let's get into it.
It's like, oh, you think you're so clever. They're never subtle jokes. It's always like, trying to eat a banana. I will crush you, my friend. That's like not even a good example, but it's like weirdly, there's a lot of it's a lot of giving voice to inanimate objects or talking to them or like, I know what you mean. I need to come up with.
And then there's also like dirty for dirty's sake, which I don't.
Yeah.
That's popular. It's like I punched a ninja in his dick, and like I don't know.
Yeah, like or like I just, but like instead of a ninja, it could be like I punched a teddy bear in his dick. Like don't try to fight me, Teddy Ruxpin. And it's like, or I mean these are not good ones, but it's that tone.
It's clear that you're like. Really, you're really talking about someone very specific.
Yeah, you know what?
It's so clear.
I should look him up. Gary had a question about Humblebrag.
Okay.
Yeah. I love Humblebrag, and occasionally will be sitting at my Twitter thing when you go on a retweet.
Oh yeah.
Barrage.
Yeah.
And it always seems like it's such a wide range of people that I can't imagine you follow all these people. So,
I don't.
So do people email them to you, or are you searching for specific words? Like, how do you do it?
Well, it's pretty much people emailing at this point. It was when it started me searching for it, and then I started getting enough email submissions that I could just rely on them. And that's how you get the wide variety, and it's great.
Yeah, it's way better that way. I mean,
But for every one good one you get 30 email submissions that don't work.
Oh, I bet. I mean,
so having to sift through those this is a humble brag, but it has become homework, and I just have it's thousands of emails in my inbox that the longer I let it sit there, the more scared I am to tackle it. Like the wall is just going to...
Is there like a public email address that you give out to people if they want to submit, or is it just your friends?
Yeah, it's humblebrag@gmail.com.
Oh, that's awesome.
I also on Twitter gave out my personal email address. I said you can email me at harriswittels@gmail.com as a joke because I thought that would be funny.
And what happened?
I said, and then my coworker... Megan Amram, who has like a gajillion followers.
She's very funny.
She's very funny. She told everyone, she retweeted that and then said, send dick pics. And I still get them every night. Like that was months ago and I'm still getting them. So joke was on me. But I thought it'd be interesting. Just like, I want to see what happens.
Okay. So, Gary, could you do me a favor and just look up Favestar and find like the most fave tweets. Okay, so outside of Twitter, though, when people are being I'm choosing the things that bug me, disingenuous or trying to outsmart people or just lying, sort of, is that something that bothers you?
Outside of just
Yeah,
like
just
in
like
life.
in person. Yeah, is that something?
Yeah,
that,
of course. I hate it.
Yeah,
I don't even really like going to parties anymore
because
it's like 50 conversations that are that. Mm-hmm. I just want to like talk to like my actual friends that I have like real conversations with.
right.
Yeah, and that aren't trying to like brag in some weird way. I guess that's also I don't like small talk. I just don't like small talk.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if there's anyone who loves it. Hang on. Okay. This is working well because now I am taking time away from my conversation with you to be looking at this
No,
thing.
but this is worth it.
Okay, we're looking at Fave Star.
See, so these are the top tweets of all time? So there's not going to be a lot of jokes, I bet. It's going to be a lot
maybe
of...
we look at tweets of the day or something. That was one of the things on the side.
Because that's going to be just like very sincere things about Hurricane Sandy and stuff.
Well, okay. Here's one. All right. Puts on leather jacket, lights cigarette, combs My Little Ponies. In general, I'm not a big fan of tweets that are only actions. Like, are you writing a script?
Right.
A very, very
little
tiny
asterisk
script.
action.
Okay, go down a little more. Nah, that's.
This is just a lot of silence.
Yeah. Okay. If you see something that makes me mad, let me know. No, these are okay.
Yeah, these are fine.
Yeah.
But to answer your previous question, I don't know what Twitter is for. I don't know.
Stop trying. Nah. You know what? Okay, let's not do this because it's distracting me too much. Sorry. Really bad idea, me. Okay. But you said, so you were like you were a boy wonderkind. You were just a wonderkind.
That's like I'm making a joke about, I'm not being sincere about that. But
no, I know, but you had success young, and now you feel like you're sort of becoming the normal age for this.
Yeah.
How is that affecting you?
It makes it feel like more, I still really like comedy, but like it does feel just more like a job, like it's a grind now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, all right, I just go into work every day, and this is my job is writing the show. It feels the same as going into just an office and just working, and then you go home at the end of the day. And before it was all very exciting, and I was like, this is great. This all sounds humble braggy.
No, it
because
doesn't.
I am
I'm
very
asking you.
thankful for where I am in my life.
Yeah, of course.
But obviously, you do anything for a long amount of time, and it becomes just more normal. It's just
Right.
what your life is now. It's not as exciting as when I was 21 and I got to be in a writer's room with Sarah Silverman, and it was cool, and I was young, and I just got out of this shitty job, and a lot of my friends were in shitty jobs, and now we're all just kind of doing this,
Right.
and it's just normal.
Right. Well, like for me, I had success as a writer, journalism, very young. Like very young, I was writing for People and Rolling Stone, and it was like, I felt like.
How'd you do that?
Okay, so I started writing for the LA Times when I was in high school, and then I started writing for a little music magazine. Right
You submitted an article?
Yeah, they had a high school section or a teen section, and they published my stuff.
Oh, okay.
And then one of the articles that I did was about Orange County bands. Mm-hmm. I grew up in Orange County.
Okay.
So it was about bands and pay to play and the music scene and some stuff in LA as well.
Did
so
you have to talk about No Doubt?
This is before. Well, they were Inland Empire at this point.
Oh,
They were
okay.
from Orange County, but they were like playing in the Inland Empire a lot more. No, but I wrote the first national cover story on No Doubt. in Access magazine, and you know their video for Don't Speak.
Sure, the peaches, the photo shoot. Sure.
Yes. Well, in the photo shoot, they took a photo of all of them, and then they made Gwen huge, and they made the guys really small.
Yeah.
And I was told, I don't know if it's true, that was the inspiration for that video. I think.
Oh,
which
interesting.
is weird that I'm bragging about that, although it's kind of a bad thing. But I had nothing to do with the photos.
You didn't take the photo,
No.
or
I was there.
crop
I
it
mean,
in
I
that
interviewed
way.
them at that
Right,
day.
right,
but
right,
yeah.
right.
Anyway, so then I started writing for this little
They did
music
that
magazine.
in Almost Famous too. Anyways,
Yeah.
did you see the movie Almost Famous?
I did.
When the T-shirts come out and
Right.
the band is small on the back. It's a common thing for a band, I guess.
Exactly.
But go on.
So it
sorry.
probably wasn't that. It was probably just their feelings that Gwen was getting all the attention.
Yeah, I mean, but also wasn't that a lot because of her and Tony's breakup too? There's like all that weirdness.
Yes, she had just met Gavin when I interviewed
Right.
them.
So
like, just
Tony was
started-
bumming out on like a whole different level anyway.
Right. There's many layers and levels to him. So anyway, then I started writing for a little music magazine, and then I wrote for different magazines and newspapers in college. And then when I graduated, I just sent my clips to a bunch of papers and magazines and things. And I figured I'm just going to start at the top. And if that doesn't work, then I'll go to the smaller ones. But someone from People called me, an editor there. And then like a year later, I sent them out again, and someone from Rolling Stone called me.
Oh, crazy.
Started doing that. But I thought this was going to be like, oh, my life and career is made.
Yeah.
But that wasn't quite the case.
No,
I mean,
you-
I was just a freelancer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you felt the same way then.
Well, yes. I felt like, oh my God, I found a magic shortcut to
Yes.
everything that everyone, like, I don't have all that crap that everyone else is doing. And then, and like, I don't mean to sound like I'm not appreciative for all of that, because it was great, and it definitely helped me with everything I did. But there was still a lot of dues paying that I had to do, and
Did they resent you because you didn't pay your dues?
yeah, I think so. I think so. Yeah, but I remember starting, a couple different jobs, and people thought I was an intern, and it's like, no, I'm actually an editor, and
Right.
but I think I began to feel like I was, as I got older, I began to feel like I'm losing my edge. I was so far ahead of everyone. And now it's not, what I'm doing is special, just like what everyone's doing is special.
Right.
But it's not special because I am 21
Yeah,
anymore.
that's exactly like I was, and this is something that I always felt in my life. Like I was always funny to my sister's friends, her older friends, and the older kids at school, because it was like, oh, this young guy saying all this adult shit. It was
Yeah.
funny because I was just like, I knew about all sex and drugs and all that at an early age. And then you get older, and then that's not novel anymore. And
Yeah,
you kind
there's
of have to
that
readjust
juxtaposition.
why I'm funny a little bit.
So how do you answer that question now?
I don't know. Well, I guess I try. I don't know. I don't know how I'm funny. Am I funny?
Yeah, I think you're funny.
Cool, thanks. See, I think just honesty and comedy, that's all that you can... Who said that, like, the only way to be unique in comedy is to be yourself, right?
No manager I ever worked with.
That's
in the day.
you're literally the only person on earth who has that brand
Yeah.
of comedy.
Yeah. Do you still do stand-up?
No, I can't anymore. I love it, but I haven't done it in like 6 months because I have been writing on Parks, and then I go home and I try to write this pilot, and I was doing the book, and it's just like I didn't have time to
Right.
do that. And I was canceling on a lot of shows because we never know when we're getting out of Parks. It's up to my boss every night. Sometimes it's like 10.
Is writing on a show, is it a bunch of people sitting around laughing all the time like I want it to be?
It kind of is, actually. I guess it depends on the room. It's really fun. They're the funniest people, and we just try to make each other laugh. They're professional. They're the best professional comedy writers I know, and it's great getting to be with them. My friend Neil has a joke about like how when a good bit in a comedy room is going well, people are like laughing and they're like, yeah, and then what if this happens? And in a drama room, if it's like people are crying, and then you try to build on that. And you're like, yeah, and then what if he dies? I don't know. It's stupid. Makes
Would
us
you ever
laugh.
want to write for a drama show?
My
drama?
dream is to write a horror movie. I would love to do that. I think I could kill it. I know that I cannot. I know that I can't, but I think I can. It's like someone that says,
It's like being 50-20.
yeah, it's like someone that thinks they can do comedy because they're the funniest guy at the office, and then they go to an open mic and they bomb. But I look at horror movies and I'm so good at judging them. Like, you fucked that up. That's so stupid. I know I couldn't do any better, but I think I can. So
Are you sure you
hopefully-
couldn't, though? I mean, I feel
don't
like
know,
you
maybe
have
I
the
could-
bona fides to.
Yeah, well, we'll see. That's what I would love to do.
Are you a horror fan?
Love it.
What's your favorite?
I love like campy stuff. I mean, Freddy I grew up on, and Jason and that. But newer I like The Descent and The Ring. Those are cool movies. And
How does all of this not frighten you? Because I'm someone who I can't
It
watch.
does.
Okay, but you enjoy that?
no,
All right, I don't understand. This is
I
so
do-
rude.
I like being able to feel anything at this point.
Oh, so you're dead inside. You're one of those?
Yeah, no, I'm well.
No, really. I mean, okay, does it?
I think I'm pretty even keeled, and like I feel like I've seen everything, and it like when something new frightens me or like makes me feel weird, just like in anything, it's exciting. Like I just feel like I've seen it all.
But does okay? So it frightens you while you see it, but
Yeah.
do you take that home with you?
Yeah, if I see like The Strangers or Funny Games, which was awesome, and I come home to an empty house that's dark, it freaks me out a little bit.
And you like that?
No, but yes.
Oh my God.
It's kind of
You're such a
exciting.
paradox.
I know. I am, but aren't we all? Are we all? Yes.
No, some people, I feel like they're easy. To me, they're not. To me, you're a paradox. There's some people where I can be like, I get you.
Right.
Goodbye.
Yeah, I don't get me. I'm a whole bag of troubles, kiddo.
I see how you're a player. It's all making sense. Are you in therapy?
I was. I go into therapy after every big breakup for like 3 weeks. Then I'm like, all right, I'm better. And then I'm not because I just bring all my bullshit into the next relationship. But then I realized I'm okay. And it was the girl. It's just those relationships were bad. I am fine now.
And the
I think I'm
therapist signed
fine.
off on that?
No, the therapist did not sign off on it whatsoever. I should definitely still be in therapy. Because they always say you're supposed to go when things are good. Because that's right.
That's really hard, though.
I know. Because who wants to
Yeah.
go fucking?
Right. Delve into something when you're feeling good.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so
How often do you go to therapy?
I was in therapy, and then when I moved back to California, I was in New York for 8 or 8.5 years, and then when I moved back, I couldn't find a therapist. Well, it's a long story, but I wasn't in therapy, and then but I would have like a phone session with my New York therapist periodically, and then just recently, after I kept saying it on the show that I should get back into therapy, I finally made myself get in touch with someone. So I went to her twice, and I really liked her, but then I felt like I really needed to go, and she didn't have any openings, so I just made a phone appointment with my New York therapist, and then I was like, oh, it's so easy talking to her because I don't have to start from scratch, and she gives me more time. The other one is that like a real therapist who will actually be like, okay, we need to wrap up, you know. So now I don't know what I'm going to do. So now I have two, but I mean, ideally weekly, but that's not. I haven't been doing that for years.
Well, I think that's fine. I think
And dabble.
you seem self-aware enough to. What does therapy do for you? It just like
makes me feel okay.
it
makes me
it
feel
tells you
better.
your problems and it doesn't make you fix them. You go, oh, I recognize that, right?
Oh, you mean
What is it? What is there?
What does therapy do for someone in general? Or
In
do you
general.
Mean, okay, in general, I think if there's a certain behavior or a certain pattern you've identified in your life that you want help changing, it helps with that.
Right.
And
But only you can change it.
true.
But what I'm saying is I think that you, as someone who has a podcast and someone who is a writer, you probably have a firm grasp on your patterns, right? You spend
Yeah,
a lot
well-
of time thinking about them.
I spend a lot of time thinking about myself, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think moreover, me as someone who has been in therapy for a while, even though I'm not currently in it, I have a lot of therapy already.
You have the tools.
Yes, yeah. But I do get really locked up on things like I'm feeling this way about this situation, but I don't know how to tell the person this. Like, I have a lot of trouble with being direct, and with even just this morning, as I was leaving the apartment, I said to my boyfriend, because he's like, you know what I might. So I'm like, you know what I might do, like something he was going to do while I was gone. And I was like, oh, you know what we should do? We should put the lamp together. He's like, I get your hint. And because we bought this lamp that, and I don't even know if I was so aware that I was asking him to do it while I'm gone. And then he's like, just ask me. I like it better.
That's
I
interesting.
prefer it. And
But that is something that you wanted. You kind of did want him to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been wanting it for a few days, but I haven't been able to say, could you put the lamp together? Because I'm thinking, well, why should he necessarily put it together? I could put it, I don't want to, but I could do that as well. It's not impossible. It's not too heavy.
So you recognized this on your own.
Well, but he said it, but then I felt bad. Like, yeah, why didn't I? But but that's not the best example. But just in general, a lot of things I have trouble communicating because I don't know that I have the right to say whatever, or I feel weird about it or whatever. So I just get really like locked up and weird.
Okay.
And so I think for me, therapy helps, just kind of giving me sort of a sense of what is appropriate communication, I guess.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't have a problem with that, so.
You can just be an asshole.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Do you ever stop before you say something?
No. I don't think I do.
Yeah, that's
I
good.
don't think I have that setting.
See, I am I'm always worried about hurting people's feelings, but then I wonder, or is it that I just want to be liked? They're kind of the same.
Well,
I don't know.
Hey, we're all out here in LA. We all want to be liked.
Right.
So.
Right. Well, so what happens when you break up with someone that makes you go to therapy?
Well, what happens is usually I end the relationship or try to push them away because I feel too stifled, and then want them back, and then they go, no, you broke up with me. And I go, come on, please, don't make me kill myself.
Do you really say that?
Yeah, I say like crazy shit.
Anything to get them back?
Yeah.
Do you mean it?
No, I've never killed myself. But have
you acted out in that way though?
Well, I take like drugs and stuff. I take a lot of pills.
Right.
Now I just do it for recreation.
Not
sadness.
Okay.
I guess it's always about sadness. Anyways.
No, this is good.
So that's usually
what kind of pills?
I like opiates like Vicodin and oxycodones and stuff like that.
Okay. Ma'am,
some Xanax.
What are you on right now?
At this moment?
Yeah.
Nothing. Last night I took some Vicodin.
So you don't do it when you're working though?
No.
Okay.
I do it on weekends. Mm-hmm. To fall asleep. I only do it. I don't go out on it.
Do you guys drink in the writer's room? I've heard before that there are writer's rooms where they, drink wine or whatever. I was just curious.
No, we're not one of those rooms. There's been a few Fridays that we'll just like drink for whatever reason, but we're a drinking room. When we go out together, we get quite hammered on retreats and stuff. There's a lot of tequila. Mm-hmm. What were we talking about?
We were talking about how you threatened suicide to get someone back, and then I was trying to find out how real that is.
It's completely real.
Well, that you say it, but do you ever? But you've never tried to do it?
I've never tried to kill myself. But when you feel that pain and you feel like you'll never recover from it, like that level, and that no one has ever felt this amount of heartbreak, you feel like I do want to end it. And I've never taken steps to do so. But I have felt like I will never get over this. My life without this person is meaningless. And especially when she starts dating someone that you know and you can picture them, and someone that I think is funnier than me. This happened? This happened. It reminded me of this when Chris Farley broke up with, or he got dumped by a girl and then she was dating someone else, and he's like, well, he might be more handsome and he might be richer than me, but he's not funnier than me. And someone's like, it's Steve Martin. And he's like, fuck. But that's how I felt with this person. Without I can't really divulge it on the air. But after.
Why?
Well, because it is someone. I mean, it's someone that is someone that people know.
And you don't want people. You feel like it. Like who would be
I was
hurt
the
by you
cuckold.
saying it?
Well, I it's not my right in a relationship. I only have 50% of the rights to talk about it, I feel like.
But I feel like in this situation, you're the one who like they all come out fine if you were to say their names. You're the one who you're saying you think this person's more funny than you.
Oh, right. Well, that's I know.
But you feel unfair doing that to her.
Yeah.
Oh, drats.
I know. I can tell you, this is the worst because when I listen to podcasts or radio and someone does this and there's this build up and you just want them to
just
say
it. Yeah.
I will say that the girl was on SNL.
Okay.
Okay. That's all I'll say. So people can do math from that if they want.
Okay. But you'll just tell me off the air?
Sure.
Because that'll be easier.
Sure.
Fabulous. All right. So now, but does that happen? That despair? Do you feel that with every breakup?
Yeah, I feel, and that's what when I went to therapy, they're all like, "Did your mother abandon you?" And I'm like, "No, my parents were married. My mom was very loving towards me." Mm-hmm. And they're like, "At some point, there was a separation." That's what they all say. And I'm like, I don't know when that separation happened. The only reason, or the only time I could think it was in middle school when I started doing drugs, I got more distant from my parents. And then they said, well, my therapist was like, when you were that age, that's when you start really feeling emotions, and you were numbing them already. So you never learned how to deal with pain. That's what they told me. Mm-hmm. So I learned that from therapy, and I kind of got it, and I kind of agreed with it, actually. Mm-hmm. And so that's why I don't really go. But it's circumstantial heartache. That's why I go to therapy.
When you're in the relationship, how are you feeling?
In the relationship, it's great at first, and then at a certain point, I get tired of it, and that's usually after a couple months, mm-hmm. or I don't know, a few months. And then I stick with it, and then it gets better again sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't. Mm-hmm. But this time, in this relationship, I haven't gotten tired of it yet. So that's how I know it's good.
Now, what's different about this one, do you think?
This one is, it's very give and take on each side. And it wasn't in the other ones.
What were the other ones like?
I feel like it was very, well, just in terms of the last one, it was very about her 100%.
Like you were giving and she was taking?
Yeah. And she's, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How did you get into drugs so young?
That was probably from my sister to a certain degree. Because she had these boyfriends that or her friends would just smoke pot in our backyard, and then I would come out there and be like, "Hey, little guy, let's get you fucked up," and I would be like, "All right," and then I really liked pot, and me and my friends smoked a lot of pot, and in 7th and 8th grade, and then in high school, I went to this weird arts high school, and then that's where I got introduced to hallucinogens and loved mushrooms and LSD, and went to raves and was doing ecstasy, all that stuff. Mm-hmm. So yeah, and then I met the band Phish, and I didn't meet them, but I went to a show and met their music, and then that scene is also pretty prevalent there. Mm-hmm. I've always been more drawn to subculture than culture, mm-hmm. and I hate pot culture. I do. I hate 420, all that shit. But I do like people that have a natural, their predisposition is against the law. I don't know. I just like people that are,
It's a little countercultural.
I like people that are counterculture and a little, just off the grid or something. They're not more interesting, but I guess I don't like authority. I don't know. Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah. Well, sounds like you're not a joiner.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I don't think so. All my friends went to a normal high school, and then I went to this arts high school that was like very weird and like artsy, and I like that.
So has the drug use ever been a problem, though?
I mean, well, I truly think that it is possible to recreationally take drugs, and no one agrees. But
Other people who recreationally, in quotes, use drugs. Sorry, that was so condescending the way I just put that in quotes. Strike the quotes. Other people who recreationally use drugs probably would agree.
yeah, well, I think that a lot of people do take it to
Escape.
pain or something. I take it in the same way that someone plays a video game or watches a movie. Isn't everything an escape? Isn't everything?
Well, video games for sure can be.
And so what's the difference between someone, and often I'll play video games while on drugs, and that's great. But
do you care to call out any particular game and drug combinations?
well, I just played Arkham City pretty stoned, and I beat it, and it was like the best game experience of my life. But point being is, life is kind of
A drag?
It's kind of a drag. It's kind of repetitive. It's kind of just waiting to die. We know that we're going to die, and we're just distracting ourselves from that fact for the most part. And you watch football games or you watch whatever. However you can distract yourself, great. And I found that in addition to video games or movies or playing drums, which are my other favorite things to do, fucking take a pill and feel really warm and cozy and sit by a fire and drink cocoa.
It's a really compelling argument for drug use.
Well, yeah, I think if you cannot have it get out of hand, and until I am fired from these writing jobs and my family and friends have turned their backs on me, I think that I have a good grasp on it.
Yeah.
Which I've been doing since I was 13, 14. I'm 28 now, and my life is fine. So maybe I actually do.
Would people around you say that too, though? That would be their assessment as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My parents know I do drugs.
They don't have a problem with it?
Because I'm fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I have a friend who has been a coke addict forever and an alcoholic, and he gets into all sorts of trouble, but he's high functioning. Mm-hmm. He's able to hold down his job. He's able to he's a performer as well, and he's able to be successful in his personal life and just in terms of getting into accidents and things like that. Like it's negatively affected him that way. But I think that he's damaging his health. Like I just don't think you can go on like that without something happening to you.
I think that there's some drugs that are worse than others in terms of your alcohol. I think can ruin people.
Yeah.
And there's drunk driving accidents, and obviously, and you get bloated and stinky and sweaty.
Right.
And coke is bad because you lose your
heart.
septum, and it's bad for your heart.
Yeah.
And, ecstasy's bad because it depletes your serotonin and you can't be happy anymore. I don't do ecstasy because of that. Mm-hmm. But then there's some that are just like Tylenol or mushrooms, or just like use mushrooms like it's a trip. It is a trip. Use it like a vacation. You don't go to Hawaii every week. You go to Hawaii once a year, once every 2 years. Not me. I've only been one, but you know what I mean.
Yes, yeah.
Use it like a vacation.
When you have kids, do you think you'll still do it?
I don't think so. I've talked about kids and that with my girlfriend, and we've actually decided we're going to quit smoking cigarettes in the new year, and I'm going to begin my ascent into not doing that, not having a lifestyle like that.
Are you worried about that?
No.
See, I think for some people like me, my own guilt about doing anything like that was so great that I couldn't enjoy the lifestyle of using.
What?
Well, plus I have a very addictive personality. I mean, for me, it sounds like it's very different. Like for you, it sounds like I'm trying to take myself out of this and just say that I think there are certain people where a new drug or a new whatever, suddenly it becomes very much all about like that thing shines brighter than anything else. And maybe it's still contained. Maybe you're still only doing it at night or on the weekends or when you go out, but suddenly like there's just I
have other things in my life that I love more than that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I care, I have friends and family and a job that I like, and that will always be like
More important
brighter
to you.
to me, I guess. Yeah, than
That's very healthy.
I would
I
love to be the
decided-
poster child for responsible recreational drug use.
Hey, you guys, it's me, Allison, again. So we choose these promos from the episode that we play on other episodes of shows around here, and I wish that I had chosen that moment as the promo, but alas, I didn't. So you're hearing it, and no one else has heard it except other people who are listening to this right now. Anyway, is there such a thing as responsible drug use, and can you be the poster child for it? All of this will be answered, or not, in part 2, which you can hear first thing Thursday morning or Wednesday night.
I'm sorry.
Do we have to do that over again because it made that noise?
It's really bugging me.
Perfectionist Gary.
Do you mind?
I think it'd be funny to leave this in there and have it known that it's killing you, that there's a little ding.
All right. Yeah,
Okay.
that's fine.
I love you guys. Don't forget to download part 2 Thursday morning.
Hey, do you know about the Alison Rosen show? We had a good time, but now we gotta go. Thank you for choosing the Alison Rosen show. Alison Rosen is your new best friend. That's right. That's right. Those good times don't seem to end. That's right. That's right. Alison Rosen is your new best friend. Hey, do you know about the Alison Rosen show? We had a good time, but now it's time to go. Hope to see you next time for the Alison Rosen show. Yeah! Yeah, Alison Rosen is your new best friend.
This is Corolla Digital.